I love being able to research any topic in dietetics, really. It gets me excited, so have done a number of different research projects in a number of areas. So most of my publications have been in the area of malnutrition, so the malnutrition screening tool that I developed was published in Nutrition, and that really just explains what the tool is and how it was developed and validated. Other areas that I've published in are around pressure ulcers and what are some of the risk factors for developing pressure ulcers and how nutrition fits into the development of pressure ulcers. Some other work that I've done is around oncology patients, using the malnutrition screening tool in radiation oncology patients, for example. We've also published studies looking at the symptoms that patients with cancer might have and how that affects their nutritional status. And most recently, some of my students have conducted national surveys both in Australia and New Zealand looking at the prevalence of malnutrition in hospitals within Australia and New Zealand and how that links to patient outcomes such as longer lengths of stay, readmissions and higher rates of mortality or death. I've got another PhD student looking at resveratrol, which is the ingredient that's often found in wine, and whether that has any impact on patients with liver disease. When I finished my dietetics degree, there was an opportunity, there was a scholarship to do research, and my supervisors Sandra Capra and my associate supervisors Marilyn Banks and Judy Bauer from the Royal Brisbane and the Wesley had just done a series of work in malnutrition screening, so that was very exciting at the time. It was novel and new. And so there was this opportunity to continue the research in their area with some scholarship funding. So I basically finished my graduate degree in dietetics and then went straight into a PhD. So no, not expected in the beginning, but certainly worked out for the best. I think PhDs have definitely opened doors for me. I think for a lot of PhD dietitians, it really gives you the opportunity to present at conferences, which opens up the world in terms of being able to travel. If you like to travel, I think PhD is a great way to be able to travel because you get to attend a lot of conferences internationally to present your research and connect with other researchers. I think it gives you the opportunity to work in a number of different areas and even at higher levels than you might have done otherwise if you didn't have a PhD. So for me, I was able to work in the US for Abbott Nutrition pharmaceutical company. And the reason I was able to get that position was because I had a PhD and had done research in the malnutrition area space. And then after coming back from working at Abbott in the US, to be able to get this position as Director of Dietetics, I think having a PhD helps in that regard as well. It used to be that there weren't very many PhD dietitians. I was one of the first two that went through Queensland University of Technology in Queensland back in the 90s, and now it's very common for people to actually go on and do their PhDs.